UN Deputy Secretary General met President Barrow to discuss economic development and transitional justice. The Nations Deputy Secretary General H.E. Amina J. Mohammed paid a visit to President Adama Barrow at State House in Banjul earlier today. The meeting focused on sustainable economic growth, transitional justice, and ongoing cooperation between the Gambia and the United Nations. President Barrow expressed appreciation for continued UN support since 2017, particularly through the UN Peace Building Fund and related programs that support the government's reform agenda, including transitional justice and security sector reforms. Discussions also covered governance, domestic resource mobilization, and UN reform. The president noted the role of digitalization in improving DRM, particularly in funding social projects without increasing taxes. He emphasized his government's strategy to widen the tax base rather than raise rates to help reduce the cost of living. The meeting also addressed education, skills development, and gender equality. President Barrow outlined his government's efforts to improve access to education and vocational training for youths and women, aiming to enhance job creation and service delivery. He highlighted progress in gender equality in the judiciary, health, and education sectors, while acknowledging the socio-economic barriers that limit women's political leadership. On international matters, President Barrow called for reforms within ECOWAS, the African Union, and the United Nations to support a fairer global order and sustainable peace. He stressed the need for African countries to rely more on their own resources, stating, Africa must redirect its resources and think Africa for sustainable development. Deputy UN Secretary General Amina Mohammed commended the Gambia's reforms in efforts in justice, youth empowerment, and governance. She praised President Barrow's leadership of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation and encouraged continued support for women and young people through education and culture. She also urged ECOWAS to sustain efforts towards peace and stability in the region.